All right, good evening, folks. This is what we're having tonight. Meatloaf, mashed potatoes, gravy, carrots, and a roll. How about that? All right, our ingredients are some milk, 8 potatoes that I've peeled, diced, and washed, a can of peaches, some carrots, that's a can of carrots with some butter, a couple of rolls, an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce, a pound of hamburger, and a half a pound of hot sausage, 3 eggs, some salt and pepper, some green onions, or you can use dried minced onions if you'd like, a stick of margarine, some Italian seasoning, and some garlic powder. All right, and we're going to get started cooking. All right, folks. Now we're going to get started cooking, and the first thing we're going to do is make our meatloaf, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to put all of our ingredients into this big mixing bowl, and then we're going to mix it around, and then we're going to place it in our baking dish. So anyway, here we go. All right. Got our hamburger and sausage. We got 3 eggs, and I made this when I was on the low carb diet. I did lose a lot of weight at that time, so there's no breadcrumbs in it, but if you like breadcrumbs in it, then feel free to do that, but I am not going to add that because I liked how this came out. I wanted meatloaf and I knew I couldn't have the breadcrumbs, so that's why I came up with this. Now we're going to add our what do we call these things? Green onions. All right. And we're going to add a half a can of tomato sauce. Okay. And there we go. And then we got some salt and pepper. And you're just going to kind of do this to your taste. All right, so now we're going to add our salt, and again, that's to your taste. Okay, and I bet you could probably use garlic salt if you wanted to, but we're going to use that. And let's see, we're going to put a tablespoon or so of Italian seasoning. Okay, and a tablespoon of garlic powder. All right, kind of like that. Okay, maybe a little more. There we go. And then we're going to mix it all up. And some people use their hands, some people use gloves. That's up to you how you want to mix it. I'm going to try to use a couple of spoons to mix this. Okay, so we'll be right back. All right, we're going to try to use this potato masher and see what kind of results we get. Okay, it seems to be working pretty good. Okay, and basically what we're going for is trying to get the ingredients all mashed up together. So, and all the seasonings and stuff. Okay, there we go. It's looking pretty good. There we go. Alright. Because you want the hamburger and the sausage both to be mixed up. Now I know my mom used to put either spaghetti sauce or ketchup in hers. I just used that little can of tomato sauce. And Mom used to also put the ketchup or the spaghetti sauce on top of the meatloaf as it was cooking. That's up to you. We'll see what I think, if I feel like doing that. I do have a half a can of this tomato sauce still left, so I might. But anyway, here's the mixture. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and get it put into our glass baking dish. Okay, here's our baking dish. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to get to where you guys can see. Okay, here it is. Alright, and I've always baked everything really on 350, so that's what I'm going to do. And it's going to take about an hour to maybe an hour and a half or so. You just kind of gotta watch it, you know, make sure it's done, okay, because you don't want uncooked meatloaf. That would not be too good. Okay, so there's that. Worked out good. So if you are one of those people that don't really want your hands all messed up or don't have gloves or whatever, use a potato masher. It worked out fine for me. Okay, there we go. And now, every now and then, if this starts making a lot of extra grease, I'm going to drain out that grease, okay, as it's baking. As we don't need all that extra. But there it is. Looks good, doesn't it? Alright, I'm going to put it in the oven. We'll be right back. Alright, there it is in the oven. Alright, and I've got it on at 350 for 1 hour. Alright. Alright, in this pan I have a can of carrots. I've drained out most of the liquid from the can. So now I'm going to go ahead and add some salt and pepper to this. Okay, here we go. There's the salt. And here's some pepper. Alright, and there's that. And I'm just going to set that aside. Okay, there we are. And I've got the potatoes right here. Okay, they're all set. I'm just going to go ahead and add some salt to these potatoes. Okay, there we go. And we'll set that aside until we get about a half hour or so before our meatloaf is done. And then we'll be back to do the potatoes. Alright, it's about time to get our potatoes boiling, so I've gone ahead and turned them on. So we're going to let those boil until they are fork tender now, okay? And we'll be back. Alright, our potatoes are now done. So we're going to go ahead and drain the water and get these mashed. Alright, I went ahead and put the carrots on to cook or to heat through, okay? Alright, I drained the potatoes and I put some butter in there and some salt and pepper, okay? And now I'm just going to mash them until they're all done, nice and squished. You know, you don't want big old chunks in there, so I'm going to finish this, but this is basically what you got to do until everything is nice and mashed, okay? We'll be right back. Alright, so I went ahead and I mashed our potatoes, and I added just enough milk to get the potatoes to the consistency that we wanted, okay? Now we're going to be adding gravy to this, so I wanted to make sure that I didn't make the potatoes too thin, okay? So anyway, this is what it looks like, okay? We'll be right back. I've got to make the gravy now. Alright, we're going to go ahead and make our gravy. Now, I'm using this packet, okay? It's a 0.87 ounce packet of reduced sodium brown gravy mix, okay? But you can use the regular version of the brown gravy mix. Alright, and to that packet we've got just 1 cup of cold water going in, and now we're going to continuously whisk until this is all dissolved and thick, okay? So you just kind of whisk it up like that. Alright, and you keep cooking it until it's thick. and we'll be right back. Alright, our gravy is just about thickened up. See how it looks? That's good. So I think I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. And we're going to put this on top of our mashed potatoes. And here is how our meatloaf turned out. Alright, doesn't that look good? Look at that. Yum yum. Now if you want to, you can put the rest of that tomato sauce on top of this. Okay? Alright, here is our delicious meal. We got mashed potatoes and some gravy, meatloaf, peaches, buttered carrots with salt and pepper on them, and a roll. Okay? And I'm going to serve the rolls with a little bit of butter. But what do you think? It's pretty good. Pretty well rounded, isn't it? Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and get started eating. So we're going to enjoy this. This is one of my husband's favorite meals. So anyway, here it is. I hope you guys give this meal a try, and I hope you do like it. And God bless y'all, and take it easy. We'll see you next time. Have a good night.